Hello, mis cielitos, and welcome back. Coco and Rosh are here, and we are continuing Ace Attorney Investigations 2.
Hello, Travelin.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Now listen, and listen well.
President Wang's testimony.
Where I was when the incident occurred, the stage, of course. Suddenly, Rook and Knight jumped in front of me. Then, bang! A shot rang out, and a plain, unblemished balloon of red exploded nearby. How
Don't
dare you.
remind me.
Not hesitating for an instant, my bodyguards tried to escort me back to the safety of the plane. And then the second shot. The bullet went right through Rook and lodged itself in the bulletproof vest I was wearing.
I guess if you look at it in one way, the president is also a victim here.
Yeah? Yes, the victim of an attempted assassination. Rook was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. Or the right place considering his job.
But that makes it even weirder. Why would the target of a crime try to obstruct the investigation?
My guess is there's something behind all this that he doesn't want made public. Politics.
A cover-up, huh? I knew there was more to this case than meets the eye. Much like a transformer.
And the president isn't the only one who knows the truth. Isn't that right, Mr. Knight? Time to get to the bottom of this once and for all.
Where was the incident occurred? On the stage, of course.
Hold it!
And how would you describe the incident exactly?
Oh, you naive little man, do you really think your silly, simple question will shake me? I was involved in a craven attempt to silence me with cold steel. And while I was speaking to my adoring public, no less. Suddenly, Rook and Knight jumped in front of me. Then, bang! A shot rang out, and a plain, unblemished balloon of red exploded nearby.
Hold it!
When they stepped in to protect you, were you aware of the fact that you were being targeted?
Was I aware of the... No! I was aware of my audience, nothing else. When I step up to the podium, I enter another world entirely. A place of rapture, a place beyond words.
No, I think you would have been happier as an actor than a president.
Yeah, I think that's called stage fright. I bet you're like a deer in the headlights.
No, 1,000 times no, I remember every second. Each moment is indelibly etched in my memory. When Rook and Knight stepped in, I was shocked, overwhelmed, taken aback.
Hold it!
About that red balloon, I have words to say.
Are you trying to test me, Mr. Prosecutor?
No, Mr. President. I simply wish to confirm that you remember. What you remember.
Very well. There were two very large, very round balloons, one on either side of the stage. Their deep crimson hue stood stark against the sky, just as the security plans said they would.
The same security plan we found in the trash can, I assume. Huh. And then we found an updated version. Oh, this is the updated version. I think this is the one we found in the trash?
I think so. Less cover from Lakeside now. That's the updated one.
Oh, okay.
Rook and Knight leapt to my aid just before the balloon exploded. Not hesitating for an instant, my bodyguards tried to escort me back to the safety of the plane. And then...
Hold it!
You said they tried to escort you back onto the plane.
Yes, that is exactly what I said. They threw open their attache cases.
That must be the moment Kay captured on camera.
And immediately moved to help me back onto the aircraft.
It's the stack of photos. Yeah.
Ah, yes. His face.
And then, a second shot.
Hold it!
Do you know where that second bullet went?
Is this how you treat a foreign dignitary? Or do you really think such needling questions necessary?
Whoa! What's he so upset about?
Must you insist on going over the same details again and again? Even
Yes.
my patience has its limits. You know full well where it went. The bullet went right through Rook and lodged itself in the bulletproof vest I was wearing.
Hold it!
If I may ask, what was the victim like in that moment?
He was a man among men, a real hero. The mere impact of the bullet took my breath away, and yet he had the strength to grab me and rush me back inside the presidential plane.
So you and the victim entered the plane together, is that correct?
Yes, he offered his noble protection, and I gladly accepted it. All was as it should be.
That sounds nice and all, but doesn't that just mean he's always the first to make his escape?
He's the president, detective. It's basically in his job description to do so.
Nothing he's saying seems too off base.
Guy's the victim here. It makes much sense for him to lie to us, you know?
I guess we gotta assume he's telling the...
No. One of the things he said is clearly wrong. Think back to the scene of the crime.
Huh? Did we miss something? Alright, let me see the evidence again.
I might as well take another look myself. I think it's got to do because he keeps calling them red balloons.
Yeah.
Red balloon.
99.
Yeah, it's gotta be that.
Okay, so I guess this one started out floating to the right of the lakeside stage, but has since been popped.
Objection!
It's so upsetting.
He's holding back tears. You say it was a plain red balloon that burst, but I strongly beg to differ.
Whoa.
Take a look at this. I think you'd
Ah,
agree.
it's hideous.
I'm going to kill you now. Just takes Rook's gun. Take a look at this. I think you'd agree that it's hardly plain, wouldn't you? In fact, it's handsome. It's beautiful. What the fuck?
What? Who's that?
Mr. President, meet the Steel Samurai. I have all seasons, or I wouldn't watch it right now. I would have hoped you might recognize him. Especially if you were hoping to ingratiate yourself with the people of this country.
Do what job to do? He's amazing.
No, he's not staying. Steel Samurai is so much better.
I didn't say he wasn't. I just said he was amazing too.
So you see, the balloon that was struck by the bullet was anything but a plane. It was in fact of the Steel Samurai.
But the briefing mentioned 2 plain red balloons. And there they are, right on the security plan.
They do look pretty plain, don't they? Just simple, round balloons.
Alright, I feel stupid saying this, but I'm not. Are they just referring to the big circles on side
Yeah,
of the
I
stage?
think- yeah.
It's
Yeah.
how would you know that's supposed to be a balloon?
I guess you're supposed to infer from context.
Yeah, it's just one of those. Like it's just
Sorry.
one of those things that, like, if I saw that, like, the map in real life, I'd be like, "What the hell are these? Are these other stages?" I would assume they were other stages.
Yeah, it's not terribly clear.
Knight, what is the meaning of this? Explain yourself.
Yes, Mr. President.
It seems the Steel Samurai balloon was borrowed at the last minute, sir.
Borrowed.
That's what we were told. Guess they only reported the incident to his bodyguards, though. Seems there was a little trouble here on site last night. One of the original balloons burst somehow.
What is he doing with this motion? Is that like air quotes?
I think he's supposed to be like holding a chess piece and moving it. That would be my guess. So they swapped it in as an emergency replacement.
Yeah, one of the stall holders happened to have it. From what I hear, he was more than willing to lend it out. A very happy-go-lucky kind of guy, they said.
Is that? I think Larry Butts worked at the hot dog stand.
Yeah.
Maybe it's supposed to be him.
Probably. He was also the Steel Samurai for a bit.
A happy-go-lucky storeholder with a Steel Samurai balloon to spare. Huh.
They filled up just the bottom part with air to make it look like the other ornamental balloon.
Oh.
So while it was a steel...
Oh, sorry, that's Edgeworth.
While it was a Steel Samurai balloon, it was made to look like a plain red one above water. How dare they use him like that? Is that the long and short of it?
Knight, why was I not informed of this? Sorry, sir. We didn't think it was a pressing issue.
And indeed, you saw it and knew no different, correct?
Yes, I suppose so.
Could he really have mistaken the Steel Samurai's pants for a plain red balloon? Still, Mr. President, I struggle to see how you wouldn't have noticed something different about the balloon.
Of course!
What's that outburst for?
Now I remember. I could barely see the balloon.
You couldn't see it.
That's right. The wind was blowing too hard. The flags to the side of the states were flapping incessantly and blocking my view.
Is that so?
Yes, those 2 flags. They were being blown back towards me.
That would have been a strong wind blowing right around the time of the incident. Strong enough to blow the flags in just a fashion. But does that conflict with in any way with our understanding of the case? I think they didn't. Let's see. Let's look at the pictures. Now we can't really see.
There's one
Yeah.
flag there.
I think they mentioned in the recording that maybe there was a lot of presidents. Nah. Oh, we can't really look closer in this one.
No. Could you look at the plans again? It doesn't really tell you if there's a wind or not.
I feel like there was something that mentioned wind, but I can't remember what. Ooh, I'm not sure about this one. Cookie, what do you have to say? Oh.
Well, we're...
Sorry, go ahead.
The cookie is just... It just doesn't know. It's just thinking, Well... Wouldn't people's hair be blowing back? I suppose the game doesn't really care about that stuff, eh?
Yeah, I think... Yeah, if that was the indicator, I think Kay's hair would be blowing back too.
See, there's a flag there.
Okay, maybe...
Oh, there's something there, yeah.
Let's give it a shot. We've got plenty of HP.
Yeah, why not, right?
Thank you, Mr. President. Your testimony has revealed yet another contradiction.
It has?
Yes, a contradiction that could turn this entire case on its head. When I arrived on the scene, the wind had died down and the flags were resting calmly for the most part. But if the wind had previously been blowing, the flags, as the president describes... Oh, is it more about, like, them blocking the view of the shooter?
Yeah, probably.
A certain piece of evidence suddenly takes on a very different meaning. I was so stuck on proving whether there was or wasn't wind blowing.
Yeah.
Which piece of evidence contradicts the stated conditions
It would
of
be the plan. The trajectory, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I interrupted Edgeworth. Who cares? Who cares what that guy's got to say?
Right? Hey, Gumshoe, what do you have to say? I'm interested in you.
What do you have to say for yourself?
And he just goes about describing a very pleasant day, and it's like, aw, thank you, Gumshoe.
Just the 3 different flavors of ramen that he ate.
Gumshoe should do like ramen shorts about the different ways he makes ramen.
Last time I baked it in the oven.
Earlier, we deduced that the bullet that struck the steel samurai balloon and the bullet that passed through the flag were one and the same. From these 2 things, we further deduce the trajectory that the bullet must have taken. And we concluded that our shooter must have fired from the left side of the spectator area. But if the flags were blown as the president describes, our conclusion becomes quite different.
Hey, if the flags are pointed in the other direction...
Exactly. Our trajectory changes completely. And if we trace that trajectory back to its source, we can ascertain who really fired that shot.
Hey, but Mr. Edgeworth, I mean...
Yes, I know. We may not yet understand the reason why, but it's certain. But it can only have been one person who did it. Who does the Who does the bullet's new trajectory implicate as the one who fired the shot?
Next time I do it, I'm just going to say silence bottom.
Dick, how could you?
Take that!
24. God, I'm old.
person who shot that shot, who fired that shot, not fired that shot, was none other than you, Mr. Knight.
Gives it a whole new meaning.
What? I didn't sire nothing.
Well, we'll see what Maury has to say about that. The path from the balloon back through the flag leads directly to the spot where you were standing. Extrapolation from bullet trajectories suggests that Knight fired the shots that popped the balloon.
But that guy's one of the president's bodyguards. Why the heck would he go around shooting balloons?
He's a Jammin' Ninja fan.
Scumbags, all of them. This is absurd. What exactly are you trying to imply? That Mr. Knight, a man who has saved my life countless times, is my would-be assassin? Seriously, Edgeworth, we've put up with a lot from you, but this? We're President Wang's bodyguards. We're the pieces put on the board to protect the king. I'll handle this, Knight. Sorry, sir. Quit horsing around.
Do you get it?
Everyone laugh! Laugh for me, Knight! Mr. Edgeworth, the wind was indeed blowing quite fiercely around the time of my speech.
Every time Aaron calls a knight a horse and Danny just sighs deeply.
But the wind can pick up and die away in an instant, can it not? Therefore, I need proof that it was blowing hard enough to lift the flags during that crucial moment.
Key's picture.
The first shot was fired right around the time the president raised his fist. I have a piece of evidence that shows just that. Perhaps it can also show us what was happening with the flag then too.
Take that!
Your proof is in this picture right here.
It should be good. Which picture? Where?
As usual, we were ahead of the game. We can see which way the flag was really blowing. Right here. On his head.
Take that!
Well, do you deny that it clearly shows the flag? There we have it. Proof that it was blowing towards you at the moment of the shooting.
So that means our pal over there did shoot the balloon?
What? Making him the assassin?
Mr. Knight, I mean, no, since we know that the bullets came from two different directions.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but I don't.
I would be very surprised.
Mr. Knight is not the assassin. He may have shot the balloon, but the president was on the other side of him entirely. Therefore, he can't have been aiming at his boss.
Yeah. Besides, why would he even shoot the balloon? What would be the point? And watch how you answer, or I might aim for something else next.
Alright, well, I say you're not the assassin, but you might become one. There was a point, I'm sure of it. If I can figure out what it was, perhaps I can finally put this whole conundrum to rest. Knight definitely shot the balloon. Knight shot the balloon. The revised trajectory data shows that Knight shot the right side balloon. But he shouldn't be able to turn his head, right? That fact alone changes everything about the case. Alright. Knight shot the balloon, Knight's position.
Gotta be, right?
Yeah. Why did Knight's assigned position change?
I told you, I can't turn my neck to the right. Could only cover up the president's left side. So I wound up moving to the right side of the stage.
But is that the only reason? Let us suppose that the plan hadn't changed, that Knight had remained posted on the left.
Oh god, you're asking me to know right from left. What is this, a Final Fantasy 14 trial? Like...
Given that he was unable to turn his head to the right, would he even have been able to shoot the balloon closest to him? Could it be that the security plan was changed for the express purpose of popping one of the balloons? And if we suppose that to be the case, the two plans are different. Was the security detail reorganized at some point?
Yeah, we made some last-minute changes yesterday. President's orders.
That's right! The president was the one who ordered the change. Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, it's a long shot, but...
Oh, damn! If I'm reading things right, the president knew in advance about the balloon shooting. Which means he must have foreknowledge he would be in someone's crosshairs today as well. And if that's true, then everything else that's been bothering me falls neatly into place. How did the shooter get a gun past such heavy security? And why would they then carry out the shooting wearing such a conspicuous item of clothing? Why use a laser sight that would give away their location in an instant? And how did the president suffer no injuries at all despite a direct hit to his vest? These are the questions that Knight and the president don't want us to consider. There's only one possible reason for Mr. Knight to have fired his gun. To create the illusion of an assassination attempt!
Huh? Idiot. You do understand what you're saying.
Oh, I understand all too well. I understand everything now. Most of all, I understand why you're so keen to take the investigation off my hands, Mr. President. You wanted your real plans to remain hidden.
How dare you speak to me that way? Is this some kind of sick joke?
Oh, it's no joke, I assure you. It is simply the truth as revealed by the careful application of logic and reasoning. Nothing more. The first shot was fired by Mr. Knight with the specific intention of hitting that balloon. The sound of gunfire and the bursting of the balloon were guaranteed to cause a panic. And then he fired again.
He did?
Yes, he fired 2 bullets, both of which were aimed at the balloon. As for why he did so, is because the second shot was designed to create the impression that the president had been hit.
So then, what's the deal with the one in the vest?
I'm willing to bet that a bullet was planted there long ago before the shooting ever occurred.
So Mr. Heroic President didn't take a bullet after all.
That's not true. I was shot, I tell you.
We'll be able to verify that for ourselves once we take a closer look at the bullet. At the very least, we can expect to find traces of Mr. Rook's blood on it, correct?
Well, you said it yourself. You found the shooter in the photograph, the person with the red hood.
Objection!
I thought I made myself clear. The trajectory points to only one possible shooter, Mr. Knight.
Then where does Tabby fit into all this?
She was simply one part of their plan. In order to place the suspicion elsewhere, they set about creating a fake assassin. A highly suspicious person with a red hood. I have yet to ascertain exactly how complicit Miss Lloyd was in the whole scheme, but I can say with some confidence that none of the shots were fired by her. I suspect her only job was to point a laser sight at the president. Nope, didn't come through if you said it.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. Then I was...
Tasked with turning your jacket inside out the moment the crowd fled into a panic. Yes. Thus making the mysterious red-hooded shooter disappear in the blink of an eye. Then, when the gun and the security plan were later found in the trash can, it would have all appeared to have been the work of an assassin so skilled they could vanish into thin air.
But then the case would have gone cold.
Exactly what our friends here were hoping for.
Makes sense now why they wanted you off the case.
Indeed, because the entire affair was a cheap ruse perpetrated by the president himself.
Go! Much better.
Absolutely.
No,
The presidential mask has well and truly slipped. Admit it, the entire assassination was a lie, wasn't it?
If that stupid chief prosecutor hadn't insisted on signing you. How could I let this happen?
Objection!
That's enough, Edgeworth.
Mr. Knight?
Sorry, but I'm speaking with the president right now.
Yeah, well, I'm doing my job as a knight and protecting my king.
Alright, Ocelot. I mean, I definitely made the Ocelot joke last time.
So go ahead, keep running your mouth.
Perhaps it would be better if we stopped threatening each other with words.
He wouldn't, would he?
I mean, he kind of emptied the chamber, but...
Nah, I don't need this thing to shut you up. Alright, my move. Question. You claim I fired my gun from on stage. How do you figure I did that in front of a crowd of thousands?
The case.
An excellent point. Time for my counter move, I suppose. You had a certain something that allowed you to conceal your actions.
A certain something, huh? Mighty specific.
What did the knight use to hide his actions from the crowd?
You know, there's points in this game where they ask you something so obvious that you're like, no, am I stupid? It's like,
Yeah!
My attache case.
Yes, take a look at Kay's photograph. Your right hand is completely obscured by the case. At the very moment this picture was taken, you were firing your gun. And in such a way that you wouldn't be detected.
Objection!
You don't like to let the facts get in the way of a good theory, do you, Edgeworth?
the voice I gave him does not match up to his objection.
Shame you didn't seem to have noticed.
Notice what?
The theories are all you have. Conjectures. Nothing more. The flag was billowing in the wind at precisely the right moment. I hid my gun with my attache case. We changed the security plan because I couldn't turn my head. It's all just speculation. Circumstantial evidence at best. You can't prove any of it. If you at least had the bullet that burst the balloon, you might have a scrap of credibility. Imagine, you could have run forensics to see if it matched my gun. But no, that bull isn't at the bottom of the lake. You gonna go dredge it up?
I hate to say it, but he's right. I don't have anything concrete.
I thought not. Maybe now you can shut your mouth.
Oh?
But with that, we will go ahead and end this episode right here. Thank you all for joining us, and see you next time. Toodaloo.